What's up, y'all? We are the Boys to Men staff. My name is Tyrell.
I'm Jelani.
I'm Travis.
I'm Jake. Yeah, so what we're going to be talking about today is just our week one to see how that went. One of the big things that we did was the Scavenger Hunt, so we're just going to talk a little bit about that. The Scavenger Hunt, we sent our groups out when they first got here just to kind of connect with each other. They were split up, and they basically went out into the community and just had to go find the locations and see what was up, see what this place looks like that they were working around.
Yeah, I think that it was a good idea just because a lot of the young people live in this whole entire area, but they're not really familiar with what's going on in Central Square. A lot of them didn't even realize where City Hall was and didn't even realize that that's where the mayor's office was, even though they're working for the mayor's program. So we thought it was good for them to find different locations in Central Square. That's really what the Scavenger Hunt was about.
And it was actually a great team builder because a lot of them didn't even know each other. So we split them up in teams, and that was their first interaction with each other. So they were able to kind of get accustomed with each other while actually doing the scavenger hunt.
They also got to get out, conversate with people, interact with people, different people they probably wouldn't talk to on a regular basis, and just ask where things are. So they dealt really good too.
It was also just a great way to see how our guys moved on the first day. So after that, we moved into just doing our guidelines and expectations and rolling through the different things of what Boys to Men is about, just to make sure that they understood that they were a part of a legacy and something that is going to really just keep building.
It's definitely good that different young people that we have, the young men that we have this year, are from different parts of the city. So they come into the group and bring a different kind of aspect, a different kind of energy to the group. It seems like every year that we do this, the energy changes and just improves on the program. New young people with new thoughts, new feelings, it just makes the program that we do so much better.
And I think one of the great things that we was able to do is we showed them the first year of Boys to Men. We showed them the documentary, and that gave them a realistic glimpse of the program, and also talked about how much it's changed from year 1 to year 3. So
yeah, I also think these guys expressed themselves very well. A lot of them was kind of shy. It's tough coming in a new situation and expressing yourself for a lot of people you don't know, but they kind of take it to it.
So that was our day one. Usually it's not like that, but that was our first day. So we moved into our regular scheduling into the rest of the week. One of our big activities that we did was boxing, which we had our guys go over to the YMCA and join in with JJ, the police officer, and he reserved a spot for us so we could just learn some boxing moves.
Yeah, the moves were harder than I thought. I grew up watching boxing. I thought it was just, throwing some punches and stuff like that. But he actually showed us about the different foot placement, how to throw certain punches, actually all the calisthenics and different workouts that you have to do to even get prepared for that part of it. So that's pretty much what our young men are learning, like the whole exercise aspect of the skill of boxing. You know what I mean? So jumping rope, running steps, and things like that. Tell them how to run steps.
Oh man, it was cool. I almost passed out, but it was cool. And it was actually interesting because I was able to get inspired and motivated through our young people. They were the ones who told me to keep going. And it was beautiful to see them throughout the 2 sessions motivate each other. You know what I mean? There was times where one might have been, struggling a little, and they were getting some encouraging words from their peers, and that may be all they needed to continue to go. So that was a beautiful thing to see.
Just to touch on that, what I thought was really cool was the staff working with the kids too, like getting actual boxing stances, running around with the kids, so it made them really comfortable. Like, wow, staff is out here doing it with me. I'm cool with that.
So that was the new addition to our Boys to Men, but we also have our old programs, which are still alive and well. We had hip hop, poetry, and we also had cooking.
Yeah, no, definitely. I don't know if you want to call it old program, classic.
Classics, but still good.
Hey, don't call it old. Now, well, yeah, I do the hip hop poetry workshops, which are really good. And this year I'm doing a little different. I'm kind of going through the different eras, starting from actually the 1960s, going up to current date. So just getting them to understand like the power of words and some of the great speakers that we had throughout times, from Martin Luther King to Langston Hughes, up to current date. So just getting them to understand like the power of words and how powerful a good speaker can be.
Yeah, so with the cooking, we've actually decided to do something a little different. This time we used to do complete meals, but instead we're going to be working up to a final course, and we're doing a 7-course meal. So we started out with our appetizers and just talked about a little bit of the history of what a 7-course meal is and what it really entails, talking about portions and just the different aspects of it. And really just getting more of the information rather than just getting the food.
I thought it was real interesting that because the scheduling, hip hop poetry and cooking actually happens at the same time, so we have to split the group up in 2 groups. And what we did, we had an open discussion where they were able to share what they learned in their respective workshops. So the young men that maybe wasn't able to do hip hop poetry was able to hear from their peers about the civil rights movement, and vice versa. The young men who didn't do the appetizer, they were able to hear about the process and actually 7-course meal. So they were able to educate each other, even though they might not have been present at the workshops.
I think it was cool just to see Trev just educate these guys on where they come from, poetry. He had some Langston Hughes stuff. He had Martin Luther King in there giving speeches, and these guys were just they was loving it. And I think it's very important for them to understand that.
So while this is a huge part of our programming, and most of the days we also had opening circles and reflection and self-care. So anyone want to talk a little bit about those?
Yeah, I mean, self-care is just, getting the young men to understand how important it is to love themselves and appreciate who they are as individuals. We want to build up their just opinion of themselves and build up their confidence. I think that once we work on that kind of thing, by the end of our program, by the time the summer program is finished, they're gonna feel so much better about themselves and just be more confident young men. That's really what we're really trying to do.
And I really enjoyed the opening circles that we had this week. I was able to witness Trev do his thing, which was basically based on what a man is, and the different qualities or attributes that these young men tie with being a man, and some of the things that they feel like they need to work on and that they can work on in this program to become a better man. And Johnny actually did a great job also in his opening circle, which was about trust. And talking about that.
What I did was we went upstairs in the gym and did a little activity with them. I paired them up, so they basically had to go back to back, but they had to lean on each other's back and then get into a defensive slide position and go all the way to the half court and come all the way back, but they had to lean on each other's back. Others had to tell them, you have to trust each other and you'll finish everything. You trust people, sometimes people get in situations where they can't trust anybody, but sometimes it's okay to trust.
So those are just some of the few activities that we've been doing this week, and it's good hearing from us, but we also have testimonies from the youth, and we'll be able to hear those on Wednesday. Thanks for watching.
Stay tuned.